Ariel Helwani in Buffalo, New York, alongside Chris Weidman, who meets Gegard Mousasi this Saturday at UFC 210 live on pay-per-view. You just squared off with Gegard. What'd you see there? It's always interesting.
Very scared man.
Yeah.
Very scared man. He was shaking.
You feel that?
He was shaking all over the place. I know he's scared.
You're joking right now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of joking. Yeah, I don't know.
He always kind of has
Doesn't
like this
matter.
sleepy.
I'm very confident.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about what he's thinking or how he's feeling. I'm just worried about myself.
He has said a few times that he believes you're underestimating him. You don't respect him. You're looking past him. Any truth to that?
Zero truth in that. All I'm thinking is about Gegard Mousasi. This is going to be one of those points in my career that I get to look back on as one of the most important parts and one of the most gratifying parts. I'm coming off of a 2-fight losing streak. The last one being at Madison Square Garden under the big lights, a dream opportunity to be able to fight in my hometown for the very first time in the very first card ever. And I ended up losing. And I'm there with blood running down my face instead of happening what I felt was going to happen, get my hand raised in front of a sold-out crowd with so much fan support. So I use that as a platform for this huge comeback. I don't take the loss as a stumbling block. I use it as a stepping stone to really create an awesome story for myself. It's something that I could look back on as one of the biggest and most pivotal points in my career.
So it almost feels like this is the crossroads of your career, right?
This is a crossroads. I mean, I've never been more motivated. I've never been more centered mentally, spiritually, and physically. I've never felt better. So everything has came to a point here now where everything's just clicking. I never felt better.
Even before the first Anderson fight?
Nope. Yeah, this is, for me, mentally and physically, and it's funny, I know I'm coming off of 2 losses. I've never felt mentally stronger than I feel now. And I think it's because the setbacks I had, they could either they bring you down or they could build you up. And I took a lot of positives from that. I learned a lot. I changed some things. This training camp, I was in a guest room with no TV. I was reading books. I was more focused on my fight. I was getting to sleep. Usually I'm in my wife's room. And my wife's room, it is pretty much her room.
You're allowed to sleep there too.
Sometimes she lets me sleep there. But usually 7 a.m. the baby comes in. The next thing I know, the CJ, my 4-year-old comes in. The next thing you know, my 6-year-old comes in. They're getting ready for school. So even if I wanted to get that sleep and that focus and time to really focus on something, it's really hard to do. So thank God for my wife. She's just an amazing person. She let me sleep in the guest room.
Wow.
And let me focus on myself. And she took all the burden of the kids. I had no responsibilities. But I was still able to see my family when I needed to, and to have that comfort zone. I don't know if you know this, but there was a time in the beginning of camp I watched Rocky III. Did you know about the story?
I don't.
Okay, so I'm sitting with my wife and my kids, and we're watching Rocky III. And I'm not really a big movie guy at all. I'm not a TV show guy. I don't really watch TV that much. But for some reason, Rocky III ends up being on. And if you know the Rocky series, Rocky III is when he starts, he has money, he's living in a big house. And I'm looking around, I'm living in a big house, and I start getting a pit in my stomach. I'm like, am I Rocky? It's like, is this coming out for a reason? And I was sick to my stomach, and I'm like, I need to do something different. So what I did was I got my wife's attention. I said, after the kids got out of the room, and I said, I really think I should go back to my parents' house and like live in their basement for this training camp and just focus on myself. Maybe it's just like it's too much with the kids and living nice. Like maybe I just gotta go back to the roots where it all started. And some back and forth. She ended up knowing, she felt like if that's what you feel like is best for you, then she was on the same page with me and she was willing to go through that. It was going to be tough, but she was willing to do it. So I ended up. She took the kids out of the house, and I literally packed all the bags for Buffalo. I was leaving, and I felt good. I felt good about it. I'm like, this is gonna be a good thing. And I started leaving the house, and all of a sudden I got hit with emotion. I started breaking down, and I was just like, this doesn't feel right. This is not right. And I just started thinking, you know what? I got to where I was at. I had all the success I had with my family. I might have added a couple kids on the way, but I got there with them. They're the biggest motivating factor I needed. It wasn't them that needed to change. There was some other things. So what I did, I just thought, I prayed, I thought about it, and I came to the decision that, let me stay in the guest room. Let me focus on me. We talked, and she said that, all right, no more responsibilities as far as picking up the kids, dropping the kids off. and obviously, if you're a dad or a mom, there's a billion responsibilities as a parent. So she was going to take those off my plate, and she was going to sacrifice. So I literally slept in my guest room, and I was able to sleep as long as I wanted. I came back. I was reading books and just getting my head straight. I was getting back and getting myself centered spiritually and mentally, and that's why at this point I've never felt better. And then on top of that, physically, I feel like I've never been in better shape. I changed some things with nutrition. I had a meal plan, Eat Clean Bro, a different nutritionist, Tyler Minton, put it together, and basically I had these 4 meals every single day, no matter what. And so when my weight naturally comes down, sometimes I'll start cheating because my weight's already down from working out hard and eating pretty decent. I'll start having cheat meals, but because I had these 4 meals to me every day, they were shipped in every 3 days. I stuck to the meal. So my weight's never been better. So everything is just feeling great.
That's a phenomenal story, by the way. Thank you for sharing that. Your coach, Ray Longo, told me on Monday that he thinks that you may have plateaued a little bit and now things have changed. Is there any truth to that? I mean, I was kind of blown away when I heard him say that because that's amazing honesty and I expect nothing less from him. But to hear that from a coach is sometimes, something that you don't hear. Do you feel like he was onto something there in hindsight?
Yeah, I think so. I was for what happened. I think I had this master plan for such a long time. I had these goals thought out and visualized and knowing it was going to happen for such a long time. And then after my first loss, a lot of that changed. I knew I was going to beat Anderson Silva. That was going to happen. Then I wanted to defend my belt as many times as I possibly could, and I wanted to beat all the legends of the sport. And then I lose to Luke, and then I didn't really have time. I didn't really take the time to reset and get my goals back in order. And I think that's when you don't have the goals properly thought out and know what you really want. It's hard to train the way that you're supposed to. You have to work as hard as you possibly can. It's hard to just push through if you don't have these goals set in your mind straight. And so I had to get back to realizing why I did this in the first place. And it helped. My son started wrestling, and I started as a wrestler young. And seeing him in his first wrestling tournament, knowing that he's not doing it for anything other than the love of the game, that kind of brought me back to why I got into this. It helped me kind of refocus and re-energize me, and then I have my goals straight. I know exactly what I want in this game. I realized that this wasn't the story that I wanted, but now I think it's going to be even better than I even imagined. And Saturday night is going to be a big part of that.
He said that he guarantees you won't get one takedown on him. Have you heard this, and is this now a personal challenge?
If I want to take him down, I'll take him down. There's no question, but that's not. I almost feel like he's trying to play a mind game. Like I'm going to be stressing for takedowns. I don't care. If takedowns are there, I'll get them. But it doesn't matter either way. I'm very confident in striking with him. I'm very confident with the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu. So I don't stress either way what's going to happen. I just go feel in the moment and let my instincts kick in. And if he stops every one of my takedowns, he's going to get knocked out.
2 last things. He's talking a lot about his contract and getting paid and things like that. Do you feel like that almost works to your advantage? Because, you ask him one question and he goes in that direction. It's not even about that. Do you feel like he's kind of putting a lot of pressure on himself here to cash in by beating you?
Honestly, I'm not worried about anything that he's thinking or what's going on with him. I'm worried about myself. So he could, I don't know what's going on in his life, and it doesn't help me at all to think about it. So I don't deal with anything that I can't control.
Did we almost not get to this point?
What's that?
At the beginning, after the Romero fight. Come on, tell us the story that you were hinting at on the MMA Hour.
Before the Romero fight?
After the Romero
fight. After the Romero fight? I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna play this again on me?
What?
Did it get a little dicey?
Oh, after my loss?
Yeah.
With who?
With the bosses.
You know what? There was a little bit of miscommunication going on, but it all got taken care of.
You're in a good spot?
I'm in a very good spot.
It's all aligning.
Everything is the stars have been aligned. I'm going out there on Saturday night. I'm getting a win. I'm going to make a statement, and it's going to be one of the best points of my career.
Maybe we go back to the original music now. No remixes or anything like that.
This one's going to be original.
We could even go with Roy Jones. Y'all must have forgot because it seems like a lot of people are doubting you.
Yeah, I could do that. I've actually used that once before.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Combat days, I did.
Y'all must have forgot Roy Jones.
Yep, I did do that.
Can we bring it back, or is it too late?
No. We got We're going with the can't back, won't back down. Tom
All right.
Petty.
All right.
I gotta take a piss. So
Okay,
bad. I'm sorry.
good to talk to you, Chris. Thank you very much, and
Thank
good
you.
luck on Saturday.
I appreciate it, buddy.